All right, y'all, I told you we would be back, and we are talking about hyperarousal, still in chapter 1. This is the first part of a trauma response that Nancy Newton-Verrier talks about, so let's get started. Furthering the difficulties for victims of trauma and their inability to regulate their arousal levels. There is a restlessness, a perceived need to be constantly on the alert. Although, in the case of early trauma, the victim seldom knows what danger is, Herman states traumatic events produce profound and lasting changes in the psychological arousal, emotion, cognition, and memory. Hypervigilance and hyperarousal are manifestations of separation trauma. Adoptees can attest to their constant need for vigilance. I did talk about it when it comes to the primal wound and more of my personal experience. So if you guys want to check that out, if you haven't already. There is a prevailing feeling of dread, a need to be on alert for disaster. Because this hypervigilance is continuous, the world is seen as an unsafe place. Van der Kolk et al. State these hyperarousal phenomena represent complex psychological and biological processes in which the continued anticipation of overwhelming threat seems to cause difficulties with attention and concentration. 1996. This is evident in adoptees' problems with focusing, especially in school. They are easily distracted and have difficulty with stimulus discrimination. The inability to discriminate among the various stimuli constantly occurring in the environment means that adoptees, as well as other trauma victims, have difficulty sorting out relevant from irrelevant stimuli. What most of us would ignore, they must check out as a possible danger. Van der Kolk contends that this makes it difficult for individuals to respond flexibly to the environment, and that this loss of flexibility may explain current findings of deficits in preventative learning and interference with the acquisition of new information. 1996. This may explain why so many adoptees are diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, aka ADD. A lot of adoptees are also diagnosed with things like RAD, which is reattachment disorder, ADHD, autism, among other issues with, I cannot think right now, autoimmune diseases. There's a whole lot that when you're always on alert, when you're always dealing with these responses, that it affects your body physically. It's a problem. I will say that I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD and autism until I was 28, maybe 29. Oh my God. Yeah, 29? 30? I feel old. Something like that. Anyway, my son was diagnosed much younger. And yeah, part of it could be genetic on that aspect, and it does run in the family. But that being said, trauma really does play a huge role. And So I also think that the way that things are now with all, our devices and our environment is not helping. But let's just remember that it takes a huge part of us, and I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. We're going to be talking about the formation of beliefs. We will still be in chapter 1. I know, it's long. Trust me, this book is so long that we're going to be reading it for well into 2024. So stay with me, loves, and I will have other types of content coming. So if you guys could do me the favor of subscribing and liking and commenting your thoughts and your opinions and your own experiences, that would be fantastic. I'll see you guys next time.